A very warm welcome, Matrix. Welcome to Educate. Let us look at this question on genetics and inheritance. Now, 2.4 says the flower color, the purple or white, we've got two possibilities for flower color. It's either purple or it's white. In a particular plant species is controlled by two alleles, capital letter D and small letter d. Now, please note this. You have not been told that purple is being controlled by capital letter D and white by small letter d. You have not been told that. So do not make an assumption, first of all. If they had said respectively after writing the statement, you would know that capital letter D, it is controlling purple color, small letter d is controlling white color respectively. But none of that has been said. So you do not know which allele controls which flower color. So now it says here, 4 genetic crosses were carried out to determine which allele is dominant. So we want to determine which allele will take the capital letter D for dominant. So now we have got 40 offspring that we are producing in each and every cross. So each and every cross that we're going to do, there are 4 crosses, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are going to produce 40 offspring. And then now the phenotypes of the parents and offspring in each cross will be recorded as well. So now the results were recorded and we made this table below. So now the phenotype here, it tells us the physical characteristic. We are basically given the physical characteristic and we want to try and determine which one is the dominant allele between the purple color and the white color. So the first combination that we have here, it is purple, and we are crossing purple phenotype with white phenotype. So crossing these two, our offspring, the one that we were able to find using this experiment, we found 40 purple. Remember, the total offspring that we're supposed to produce in each cross is 40. So here, 40 of the offspring were purple. All of the offspring were purple, in other words, because here, the crosses, as said by the statement, the 4 crosses were carried out to determine which allele is dominant. 40 offspring were produced in each cross. Okay, so in the first cross, whereby we had a purple parent plant and a white parent plant, and we crossed those two, we found out we have got 40 purple offspring. So here we can say 40 out of 40 of the offspring are what? Are purple. Or you can say 100% of the offspring are purple because all of them are purple. Look at the second cross. The second cross, you have got purple being crossed with purple. So you are crossing the same thing. If you are crossing purple and purple, you get 31 purple and you get 9 white. So do you see that there is now a mixture in your offspring? When you are crossing purple and purple here in the second cross, you found 31 purple flowers and 9 white flowers. So it means that here 31 out of 40 of them are purple, but 9 out of 40 of them, they are white. So do you realize that here there is a mixture? Okay, since we are crossing purple and purple together and we get purple and white, it means that there must be some heterozygous condition. There is a mixture of characteristic. Okay, if it's homozygous, we would have gotten just only purple, but this is a mixture. Now, third cross, we have got white and you are crossing it with white. If you are crossing white and white, you see that we have got what? We have got 40 white. So out of 40 of them, all of them are white. So 40 out of 40 in the third cross are white. And then the last one, the last cross, you are crossing purple again with white. You are crossing purple again with white, but now you find out that you've got 21 purple and 19 white. 21 purple, 19 white. So 21 out of 40 of the offspring are purple, and then 19 out of 40 of them are white. Do you see the trend here? You can note something about the first cross and the third cross. The first cross, you had purple, you had white, and you got 100% purple. You got 40 out of 40 purple. So this tells us that the first cross, or cross number 1, is a cross that has got a homozygous condition in a sense. There must be a homozygous condition, because when you've got a homozygous condition, all of the offspring will adopt only one color in the homozygous condition. When you've got a mixture of colors, it means that you have, yeah, when you've got a mixture of colors, it means that you have a heterozygous condition. But in this case, we got a homozygous condition because 100% of them were purple. But if we look at our parents, the parents here, the parent one was purple, but the other one was white. And purple and white are totally opposite to each other in terms of this scenario. So we can say that purple is the homozygous dominant, white is the homozygous recessive. So white is completely recessive and purple is completely dominant. So 2.4.1 state the dominant flower color, it is purple. How did we see that? Now 2.4.2 says use cross number 1 to explain your answer in question 2.4.1. Here we realize that when we crossed purple and white parents, now we answer. We say that when purple and white was crossed, when purple and white was crossed, or you can say were crossed if you want to use the correct English. It's fine. So when purple and white were crossed, what happened? All the offspring were purple. All the offspring, or 40 out of 40 of the offspring, or you can say 100% of the offspring, all the offspring were purple. So the fact that all of the offspring took only parent one's characteristic, which is purple, because all of them were purple, they actually took after parent one. It shows us that there is a complete dominance of purple, which tells us that purple is the dominant flower color. So all of the offspring in cross one were purple. So we can say indeed that the purple is the dominant color. So we've answered this and these 2 marks. So now further analysis here. Look at this. Cross 1, we said it's homozygous. It's because we got 100% of a certain color, or we got 40 out of 40 of a certain color. Even if you see cross 3, we also get the same thing. In cross 3, we have got white flower color crossing it with white flower color, and we got 40% white, or 40 out of 40 white, so 100% white. So it means that's also a homozygous condition. The moment you see a cross giving you 100% of a certain offspring, it means that there must be a homozygous condition. But in this case, you have crossed white and white, and you have realized that you get 40 out of 40 of white. So it means that white here is the recessive allele. Because you are crossing white and white, you get white alone. But when you crossed purple and white, you got purple alone. Means that purple was dominant over the white. And then now 2.4.3 says that we should state the Mendel's law of segregation. Remember, the Mendel's law of segregation is the one that we use in a genetic cross when we want to explain separating gametes. First of all, it says that the Mendel's law, it is in 3 marks, so you must state 3 points. 2.4.3. So it actually states that each and every organism has got 2 factors or 2 alleles. So here, each organism has 2 alleles for a characteristic. Each organism has 2 alleles for a characteristic. I've talked about this in my video when I introduced genetics, and I told you that you have got 2 chromosomes, one from the mother, one from the father, and each chromosome has got each allele. So each organism has got 2 alleles for each and every characteristic. And then what happens to those alleles? During meiosis, they do what? They separate. Remember, when you're writing a genetic cross, maybe you've got something like this, RR. When you write meiosis here, what next? You are going to separate R with R. So that is known as Mendel's law of segregation. So you say that during meiosis, so here, what will happen during meiosis? The alleles separate. The alleles separate. And then why are they separating? It is such that we will have a gamete that has got its own allele. Remember that when you separate them in this way, as I've already told you, when you separate them in this way using meiosis as the strategy, the eventual thing that will happen here will just remain with two gametes, and each gamete will have each allele here. So here they will separate. You can say such that each gamete has one allele. Each gamete has one allele. So this is known as Mendel's law of segregation or Mendel's law of separation. Just separates two alleles from each other. So now we are sure that our purple is the dominant. We can now proceed to 2.4.4. 2.4.4 says use a genetic cross to show how the crossing of two purple flowering plants can produce white offspring as in cross 2. In cross 2, look at this. In cross 2, we have got a mixture of characteristics. Look at this carefully one more time. In cross number 2, we have got a mixture of characteristics. We have got purple, and we are crossing purple with purple. So we are crossing the same things, but we get the offspring that is a mixture. We have got 31 purple, whereas we have got 9 white offspring. So 31 purple and 9 white. Remember, I've said that if the offspring, I repeat again, if the offspring is completely the same, that's a homozygous condition. It means that there must be a homozygous condition. In the first cross, we have said that it's homozygous and they are contrasting characteristics. But here, in cross number 2, all of them, they are purple. They have the same phenotype. All of them are what? They are purple and they have the same phenotype. But they are able to produce purple and white. So it means that must be a heterozygous condition. They must be in a heterozygous condition for them to do that. So since we have said that the dominant allele for this characteristic is purple, so purple has to take a capital letter D. And the recessive allele we have said is white, then white has to take a small letter D. So here, for us to combine this here using a genetic cross, I can just open space there. Remember, genetic crosses are 6 marks, so you need to get some of the compulsory marks there. Let me just open space for you here. So here we are going to cross 2 purple colored flower plants, but each and every flower plant will be in a heterozygous condition because we know that our offspring is a mixture. So first we write the parent generation P1 and you state the phenotype of the parent generation. In this case, they said we are crossing 2 purple. So we must have 2 purple. We are crossing a purple flower with another purple flower. And then what about their genotypes? Remember, their genotypes, we've said that they will be heterozygous. In this case, we are using capital letter D and small letter d. So purple must be represented by capital letter D and small letter d, crossing with capital letter D and small letter d. I've already told you that heterozygous, how are you going to see that this is a heterozygous condition? The offspring is a mixture. How are you going to see that this is a homozygous condition? The offspring are completely the same. In cross 1, you were crossing different parents, but you found the same offspring, adopting the characteristic of one parent. So that is a complete dominance case. In cross 2, you were crossing the same purple color, but you have found a mixture of what? A mixture of offspring. So that's a heterozygous condition in a way. So make sure that you get a grasp on that. So what happens after here is meiosis. These videos will be very easy. This exercise will be very easy to follow up if you have watched my previous videos on types of dominance and how they work with each other and understood and did an analysis. So meiosis will occur such that there will be a production of gametes. The gametes here will just separate D with a comma with a D. This is the Mendel's law of segregation. Cross D with a comma and D. And then the next thing, when we have our gametes, they will fertilize each other. So there will be fertilization. So during fertilization, this D can combine with this D. These are the sperm cell of this one. This gamete, this male gamete can combine with this ovum and will have DD. So capital letter D, capital letter D. Those are the genotypes of the filiant generation. Okay, DD. Or maybe this first D can combine with the small letter d from the female side. That will be capital letter D, small letter d. Or maybe this small letter d here will combine with this capital letter D here, something like this. This one, that will be capital letter D, small letter d, in my space here. And then the last combination, this D here, the first D can combine with the last D on the other side. So these two small letter D's can combine. We have small letter D, small letter D. And interpreting our phenotypes here, or our phenotypic ratio, or to describe, because here they want to know how are we able to produce purple and white, whereas we've got only purple. You can see that the first offspring there, DD, it will be purple because we've said purple is dominant. So we have got DD. And here we also have got DD as well as DD. Here, all of them are going to be purple because there is a dominant allele, capital letter D. So we have got 3 purple possibilities, and then we have got small letter d, that is 1 white possibility. So the ratio here, it is actually 3:1. This is just a ratio, guys. This is not really the amount of offspring that has been made. This is just a possibility to say that if these two were to cross, what possibilities, what possible phenotypes can we obtain? In this case, we can obtain there are 3 chances of obtaining purple colored offspring and 1 chance of getting the white colored offspring. That is why even in cross number 2, most of the offspring, the 31 of the offspring are purple and the 9 of the offspring are white. So there are more chances of getting purple offspring because there are more combinations that give purple offspring than the white ones. But this explains it to say, why do we have white offspring in the purple combination? It is because it's in a heterozygous condition. So whenever you're analyzing these tables, make sure that you follow the rules. I repeat again, this is a bonus thing I'm telling you twice and million times. When you are crossing organisms with opposite characteristics or contrasting characteristics, and you find out that your offspring is completely the same and it is taking one characteristic of one parent, just like in cross 1, then it's a homozygous condition. One is completely dominant over the other one is completely recessive. When you are crossing the same things, purple and purple, but you get offspring that is not only purple, there is also white in it. So it means there must be a heterozygous condition. It means that there's a mixture of the alleles. Some of it is dominant, some of it is recessive. The dominant being the one resulting in purple, the recessive being the one resulting in the white offspring. And then cross number 3, when you have got white and white, these are the same characteristics, and you get 100% of white. All of the offspring are white. It means that it's a homozygous condition. And in this case, we've already confirmed that white is a recessive. So this is homozygous, recessive, small letter d, small letter d. Okay. And then the last combination, you have got purple and white, and you get a mixture. So the purple has to be in a heterozygous condition, and then the white has to be, for the white to express as white, it needs to be recessive, both of it. So here, this will be the genotypes for cross number 4. Okay, so that we can get a combination of purple and white. Otherwise, if purple will be capital letter D, all our offspring will be purple because the dominant, according to complete dominance, that's how things work. But for cross number 4, our purple is in a heterozygous condition, whereas our white is in a homozygous recessive condition. This will be very easy if you follow up on all my videos. I will drop the link of the playlist in the description. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this activity video. Don't forget to stay tuned and also tell your friends to stay tuned.